Majestic Gamer 7, and welcome to another video here on the channel. This one's gonna be a little bit different. I just randomly sort of got this idea to sort of try. I don't know if anyone's done this yet or not. I haven't personally seen it. I've seen like variations of sort of like this idea, but haven't actually seen it done in this way, I guess. But basically I have 8 lovely Sims down here, and I'm going to lock them inside a house, well, sort of inside of a fence, so they can go outside if they want to choose to. But they just can't leave the lot, so they're locked in the lot. And I'm just gonna let them do their own thing and decide their own fate, and I want to see who survives. But the twist is I have different types of Sims and different, like, occults or whatever. I couldn't do enough, so there is 2 humans, but there is a difference in between the humans, which I will explain. But I'm gonna quickly show the people and sort of explain, like, what their what their things are. So this is Ricky Dennison. I sort of just randomized their names and some of their traits. I gave them some things just, for fun, and then some of them are just randomized. I like randomized them and then picked maybe 1 or 2 sometimes, depending. But anyway, he is a human Sim. He is just a regular Sim, but he has no skills, which I am going to, I think, because I had to leave him in this house for a little bit so that I could build the servo bot. But so I'm gonna reset his skills back to 0. He's sort of, he led a sheltered life and didn't have to do anything. But, so he's gonna have no skills. I have given them some, like, little satisfaction things, like some satisfaction points, and I'll go over there later, but his are not, like, very, like, big or, like, altering, so. And then we have Liliana Grimes here. She is obviously an alien. And so I actually really love her. I think she is adorable. But anyway, so this will be the alien one. This is Regan Varner. She is the vampire. And with the vampire and the spellcaster, I did max them out. So she is like a high vampire, master vampire. And I forget what I haven't played with the spellcasters as much as the vampires, so I forget the terminology, but she's the highest level of spellcaster that you can be, and I picked their traits, but she is not irresistible. She does not have sun resistance. That's how we say it. I didn't want to pick anything that can cause them not to die, basically. Then we have Kala Akuna here, which is the mermaid. She is our lovely little resident mermaid Sim. The next one, I'm going to have to change him once I start the challenge, but he is going to be the plant Sim, and I found out that the plant Sims, the cheat that I have active, only lasts for 5 days, so I don't know if they are going to die within 5 days or not. So I may have to, however, once in a while, check on it to make sure, like, there's no pop-ups that have, like, slowed them down. There is, like, no kids or anything in here, so I don't think there's too many things that could actually pop up and slow them down that I know of. But, if there is, I'm going to check on it every once in a while, and I may have to force him to become a plant Sim again. There probably is a mod out there that keeps them a plant Sim, but I sort of came up with this and decided to do this on a whim, and I didn't really go looking for the mod for it, because I got into creating them, and I had fun creating them, and then, like, all that stuff. Anyway, and then this is Azor Yuna? I don't know. Like I said, I randomized the name, so I don't know. She is obviously the spellcaster. Why does she have this? I didn't fix hers, I don't believe. I'm gonna get rid of this, because, 1, she's not the mermaid Sim, and 2, we ain't on an island, so what should I give her real quick? No, ambitious, there. Why not? Anyway, so yeah, she's gonna be the spellcaster. I did want to change this real quick, because I couldn't remember the, signs of what. No, it's not there. which one was what magic. I could not remember. No, it's here. And I think this is the right one. Mischief. I mainly have her doing the mischief stuff, so yeah, I'm gonna change that. Anyway, and they do all have all outfits, but I'm not gonna go through those as of right now. And then we have Noah Hills. This is the other human, but he has all skills. He has maxed out all of his skills, and so that's what's gonna have him different from Ricky. Then, of course, we have Servobot here, which took me a while to make, because I never made a robot, and I didn't realize you had to make all these things, and you can't clone them, because I tried to do the cloning thing. Can't do that. So, and his random skills have made him evil and, like, mischiefy and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? Sure. Let's have an evil robot in the mix. So we'll just see how all that goes. We're gonna see which one lasts the longest. They all have their own, they're all gonna have their own little, things that they have to, like, overcome because of certain things. She can die of overcharge. She can die from sunlight, lack of water with these two, and stuff like that. The alien doesn't really technically have anything to go against it necessarily, but we can pretend. Okay, so here is all the, oh, there's, no, some of y'all are, so I did change him into a plant sim. It changes his hair, and it won't let me really change it back, but listen, all of it, no, no. I don't want y'all starting out in y'all's cold weather outfits. Obviously, that's what y'all apparently need right now, but we all starting out with the same thing. Things are freezing. So yeah, I have them all standing out here ready to go beside each other so that, again, no one is necessarily at a disadvantage or advantage here at the beginning. I am going to also use, oh, that is not what I meant to click. I'm also going to use the cheat to put all of their needs, why am I forgetting things? All their needs up so that everyone is, it looks like I actually did that already, but just in case I'm going to do it again. Just so that I 100% know that everyone is good to go. And such. I'm also going to show you the house just real quickly since you're going to be seeing the house. And the house I did get off the gallery, so I am going to quickly show that who I just made some changes here and there. So this is the house that they're staying in. They're in Strangerville. I just randomly sort of picked a place. But I did make some changes just to fit this sort of thing that I got going on. There's a pool, there's cow plants, so there's stuff for them to do and keep them, like, happy if they choose to do so, but they're going to be the ones choosing everything. There is a bedroom for everyone. I technically made 8 bedrooms, not thinking about the fact that one is a robot and he's going to have to go to the little charging station over here instead of a bed. But no one has claimed any of the rooms yet except for one, just because it is the vampire, and I didn't know if she would go. I've never really had my vampires just try to claim a coffin for themselves, so I did let her go ahead and claim the coffin. That is the only person who's got one claimed. There is some Murphy beds, so if people decide to claim those beds, but there is rooms for everyone. I did make this basement area. This was not a part of the house originally, but and I have added just a few things. I have a rodent here, which the cage is already dirty, so if anyone decides to go play with him, I did try to add some of the stuff just to be risky for them to do if they do decide to do on their own. But, you know, they also will have to repair things or not repair things on their own. Right now I have autonomy switched off, so they're actually not going to be doing anything when I first start this, but let me go ahead and just make sure all their needs are filled. And like I said, I did give them satisfaction points. So I did give them some things, and other things give them necessarily a super high advantage, and I tried to make them relate to their personality and what occult they were to a certain degree. So that's what some of their things are for. So like she's got a slight cold resistance. She doesn't got the really high cold resistance, like immune to cold or whatever, but she does have slight one. Just because to me Sixum looks like it's like a cold little planet more likely. So that's sort of what I did with all of these. I think I gave him like, I may have gave him the high heat one. Yeah, I gave him the high heat one. Most plants actually really like the heat, so things like that. So that's what I sort of went through and based them off of, is what occult they were supposed to be. So let me go ahead and switch autonomy on so that they can apply changes, make sure they're applied. So they can do things that they want to all on their own. Apparently it is Winterfest. I am gonna real quickly show you who made the house. Like again, I did make some changes. I think I saved it to my library on purpose so that, yes. So it is the Keefe Manor by RHID 94. And this is how it originally looked. Like I said, I did make some changes to it for the purpose of what I'm using it for, and just to sort of make it a little bit different. But anyway, so that is, if you want to go download that, that's where this is. I'm gonna actually put the walls completely down. I normally play with them half down, but because of the purpose of watching The Sims, I'm going to actually just do that. Oh, her little familiar popped up. So yeah, autonomy is completely on. I'm going to leave them, and I am actually going to take my webcam off for now, and I'll record this part and then watch it over with y'all, because I'm not going to pay attention to it too much other than just to stop the block ups and maybe turn him back into a plant sim if it so changes him from a plant sim before everyone dies. But the purpose of this is to see who lasts the longest and see what people sort of does. It seems like some of them have already decided to just come into the house. I don't really know if they're doing anything. Oh, she's like over, what is she doing? Wait, she's telling jokes. Okay, so already, oh, he's already not happy because of this. So he's also got an awful reputation. He came out with an awful reputation. So, but yeah, so it looks like all the Sims except for Azor here have decided to go in. The cow plants don't have their cakes out yet, but yeah, and I might, if I see them with their cakes out and no one's like going to pay attention to them, I might get someone to feed them just because they will die. But yeah, we'll see what happens, see what they do, but I'm just gonna leave them to it. Make your guesses now, who you think's gonna win. Is it gonna be Servo? Is it gonna be Ricky? Is it gonna be Regan? Put down in the comments below before you fully watch this video and guess who you think's gonna win. I don't know, honestly. I think in some ways Noah has the highest chance just because he does have max skills, and like I said, I did actually give some of, I don't know if I mentioned, I did give some of them skills, but their skills are based off of their occult as well. I think I forgot to mention that. So like their personality and their occult. We'll see who lives the longest and how they go, but I'm just gonna leave it to it. I'm probably gonna speed it up so that things go pretty quickly, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so this is sort of the end of my little experiment, and I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm a bit disappointed. So basically my original plan was to let it just sit there for like 6 or so hours, because one, I couldn't record, like I wanted to record the whole time just to catch anything, like catch the deaths and stuff like that, and but I definitely didn't want to go too long, because I would have ran out of space to record and possibly record like other things before I fully finish editing this, because I tend to do like bulk editing. So that was my intentions, and then I ended up, I think I recorded over 8 hours and still technically didn't get anything I wanted, and then I let it stay running overnight. Of course, running overnight meant that, you know, I couldn't speed it up, but I was speeding it up throughout the day. I had like covered my screen and covered the bottom portion just so that I could make sure that I could see like the little fast forward, slow down, and things like that. As you could tell, Kyla is still alive here and doing just fine. But anyway, so yeah, I had got it to run through a whole entire sim year. And then I left it overnight. I went up to the greenhouses a little bit today, so I started it probably 9, 10 something yesterday morning, maybe a little bit sooner than that even, because I usually wake up pretty early now, and it is 2:30 the next day that I'm recording this. So this is when over 24 hours of human time that this has just been running. I didn't record the whole entire time, like I said. I wouldn't have had enough room for that, but I decided to let it go overnight, and even while I was in the greenhouse, just to see if any more deaths would occur. But as you can see, 5 of them are still alive, and it sounds sort of weird to say, but yes, I was expecting more death. I was hoping for more death. It didn't happen. Only 3 of the Sims died. I will proceed to show you those, like, overlay videos over top of this, but Servo did die. Servo was the first one to die, and he died from, I'm pretty sure, rain, if I remember correctly, looking back at the videos and stuff. Does it say why they died? It just says, our rest in peace there. There's his remains. I think the notifications would have gotten so full that I probably can't even 100% confirm, because I just quickly looked through the video, because it is a lot of video that I would have to... Oh, hey, someone was burning to death at one point, but obviously it didn't happen. They've went through, like, 2... Oh, hey, there. Okay, he died of the Murphy bed, Ricky. He was the last one to die, because, like I said, there was 3 deaths. 3 of them did die. I can't go back to see Regan's. I'm pretty sure she was Sunlight. She's out here. This is hers, right? Yeah, Regan died there. And the Murphy bed, that means underneath here somewhere is Ricky. Okay. His might be underneath one of the Murphy beds. I think it was this one, if I remember correctly. As you can see, I did add more Murphy beds, like, after the 8 hours or so that people... Because when I first went in, actually, Ricky... Like, I went in before I stopped recording, like, an hour or 2 before I stopped recording, and I changed some things. Got rid of the pool, I paid their power again so that maybe they would start cooking and maybe catch things on fire. I moved this rug closer to the fireplace. I added more cow plants. I'm pretty sure you cannot die from cow plants. Like, I'm pretty sure it is just not a thing. I was trying to do, like, I think it was like 7 hours in when I did all these changes, because at that time, only 2 of them had died. So I made all those changes, got rid of most of the beds, only had Murphy beds, hoping that they would actually, you know, find a way. But they're not. The mermaid's keeping hydrated. I changed him to a plant sim a few different times. Like, I would lift, I had like a little cover on the screen, like I said. I'd lift it up enough just to see him, because I kept it on his thing to find where he was and turn him back into a plant sim. But I didn't do it too often, because otherwise I would look, and I was trying to keep all the deaths a surprise to me, but there's only 3. So I am mildly disappointed. And by the looks of it, they keep going back to the cow plant. And, you know, the cow plant, obviously, they look like, you know, they're full. I mean, I think this one back here is dead also. So, I don't know how long the cow plants survived after I put them, but more cow plants died than Sims. So, yeah. This experiment didn't go fully how I had hoped or planned. It's been 2 years now, because it's already past another Winterfest by the time. So they've lasted more than 2 sim years on their own. The bills were only paid once, and I don't know when they went off again, but yeah, so all that stuff is, obviously the plants didn't really get taken really well care for, but, you know, they survived. So good for them, I guess. Not so much for my little experiment. But yeah, so I feel like Sims is really hard to kill at this point, and it's... or to die, and though you don't necessarily, like, want death to be easy, because, you know, you don't like your Sims necessarily dying, but it's still, like, especially from, like, a storyteller point of view, it adds more to the story, it adds different things that you're unexpecting, stuff like that. I feel like it used to be a lot easier for Sims to die, and the thing is like, if they're really afraid of people getting upset about their Sims dying, here's the thing. There's so many ways for your Sims to come back to life if a Sim dies that you didn't necessarily, like, you really didn't want to die. Like, you know, I'm sure everyone has Sims that they're like, I definitely don't want them to die just yet. Or there's Sims that you don't care if they die, and then there's Sims that you'd rather not die, but if it just how happens, okay, whatever. But it is so hard for Sims to die of anything other than old age, it seems. Because even not in this little experiment, even just me playing and recording and stuff like that, I've noticed it's not... Sims don't die that easily at all, for any reason. So it's like, meh. And there's Ambrosia, there's the Book of Life. If you end up getting Realm of Magic, the spellcasters can... I'm pretty sure there's a spell they learn to bring people back. I'm almost 100% certain that there is a spell. Then there's cheats, there's mods. There is so many ways to bring a Sim back if you really didn't want that Sim to die. There's also pleading with the Grim Reaper. Now I know that doesn't happen the way that you want it to necessarily, but that's the first thing you could do. Plead with the Grim Reaper. If that doesn't work, you have the Ambrosia, you have the cheats, you have the mods. And the thing is that there's so many ways to even avoid these deaths in the first place that I feel like there just shouldn't be so many go-arounds around it, I guess. It shouldn't be as hard as it is. Basically is what I'm saying. I mean, even with the cow plants, I'm pretty sure you have to be eaten by them twice. But not only that, the second time has to be within the 24 sim hour period of previously being eaten. So you can easily cancel that interaction. Make sure the cow plants stay fed. Make sure your Sims don't go to the cake. And even if the cake's out, you can still feed them. It's not like if the cake's out, that's the end. Someone has to be eaten. You could still feed them and they'll put the cake back in. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And if your Sim is that stupid to go and eat a cake that's sticking out of this thing's mouth in the first place, and then go and try to eat it a second time within a 24-hour period, they deserve it. But it doesn't seem like Sims will even try to do that. Like, they'll constantly go to the cakes, I believe, but not within that time period that they need to go with the cakes. I'm going to experiment with that also, just to see, because I really like the cow plants, and it really makes me sad that the cow plants have, like, no scary purpose about them anymore at this point. Like, it feels like Sims have taken out some of that, like, worry and concern and that little quirkiness and, like, things that you fear and things that are out of your control. Like, they've taken some of those things out, and I sort of like those things. So, yeah. Since only 3 of them died, your chances of, if you guessed early on any of these 5, you had a pretty high chance, because 5 Sims lived, only 3 died. So as long as you didn't say the robot, the human with no skills, and the vampire, you're good. And the human with no skills died from the Murphy bed. And I feel like the Murphy bed is the highest way to get deaths in Sims now, but it even seems like that doesn't work too often. I know they keep getting broken. I think even... Oh, yep, there's their... I think even at one point after I'd stopped recording... Oh, hey! She just got closed in it, but I think... Yeah, she's fine, though. You have to get whacked on top of the head. Oh, she was still asleep. Wait, was she gonna go back to sleep after that? But anyway. So, yeah. Even the Murphy bed seems to be either changed or something, because it seems like even that... Not as bad as I was hearing people talk about. Things, I mean, they seem to be doing pretty well. I mean, the house is not in such a bad state like I thought it was gonna be. I mean, this is gross. That's disgusting. the whole point of this experiment was to try to have only one left, and that didn't happen. And I tried. I tried. I got rid of some luxuries. I got rid of a lot of stuff, and I tried. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about how this experiment went. I do have another experiment I want to try specifically involving these guys, so keep an eye out for that. I don't know if I'll have these same 8 lovely Sims give it a go, or if I'll get different Sims, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna end this disappointment here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.